Steph Curry was fined $25,000 for his actions in last night's game. And Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Warriors, he was also fined $25,000 for his comments made in a press conference criticizing the officiating in Game 6. Curry had an emotional explosion of rage when he picked up his sixth and final foul. He threw his mouthpiece into the crowd and it hit a fan that was sitting courtside. And it turns out that this wasn't just any fan. This was actually the son of Nate Forbes. Nate Forbes is actually a partial owner, a minority owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. After it happened and Curry settled down a little bit, he realized that he hit this guy. He didn't mean to hit this guy. He even gave him some dap. He apologized. And the son, he didn't really seem that mad. He was just like, okay, whatever. It wasn't a big deal. But social media was on fire last night. After this incident of rage, many people are calling for Steph Curry to get suspended for Game 7. A lot of people are bringing up the fact that Udonis Haslem, in 2006, he was suspended for a playoff game for throwing his mouthpiece at the ref. They're making the argument that Curry hit a fan, so he should be suspended as well. And it's getting ugly because people are accusing the NBA of rigging the series if Steph Curry does not get suspended a game for throwing his mouthpiece when Udonis Haslem and other players that have thrown their mouthpieces in the past have been suspended a game. It's really funny because people on both sides are saying the series is rigged. Even Curry's wife, Aisha Curry, she was on Twitter last night and she tweeted something before she deleted it. But she basically said that the NBA is rigged. You got Cavs fans that are saying it's rigged if Curry doesn't get suspended. You got Warriors fans saying it was rigged when Draymond got suspended. This is unbelievable. But let's talk about this Curry incident. I actually have a link in the description that's going to show you various examples going all the way back to 2006 when players have thrown something into the crowd or thrown something period and whether or not they got suspended or fined. So if you click that link in the description, it's going to go to sbnation.com. You'll be able to see that the NBA is very consistent with this issue. Anytime that a player has thrown anything into the crowd or at a fan, that player was fined. The fine seemed to range anywhere from $10,000 all the way up to $35,000, but they have been very consistent. You throw something into the stands or at a fan, you get fined. But anytime a player has thrown something at a referee, then they've been suspended a game. Last night and even today, many people brought up the fact that Udonis Haslem was suspended a game for throwing his mouthpiece at the ref. Yes, he threw it at the ref. There's also another incident where Zach Randolph was suspended a game. He threw a headband at a referee. James Posey also got suspended a game. He threw the ball at the feet of the referee. So you can see they're very consistent. You throw something at the ref, suspended a game. You throw something into the stands or a player, you get fined. Curry is not going to be suspended. Game 7 is going to be lit. And anybody could win. It's winner take all. It's the Super Bowl. Whoever shows up on Sunday will be the NBA champion. And we couldn't ask for a better season. We couldn't ask for a better ending. With this much drama, both teams hating each other, one final game. I can't wait for Sunday. It's too many days we gotta wait. Now let's talk about the NBA being rigged. Both sides are claiming that the NBA is rigged. That's how you know it's not rigged. How could both sides be complaining of this? Last series in Game 6 against the Thunder on the road. How could you rig that game? How could you rig Klay Thompson and Steph Curry setting an NBA record, playoff record for most threes? They were hitting threes. You can't rig threes from 30 feet away from the basket. You can't rig those threes that Curry and Klay were hitting. Those are tough threes. You have to make those threes, and they made those threes. Even last night's game, people are saying it was rigged. Curry's fouls, they shouldn't have called those fouls. Curry was out of his mind. He was not focused. He wasn't thinking straight. He was raging. All of his fouls were silly fouls, including the final foul that fouled him out of the game. Steph Curry had 5 fouls at this point, so he should be playing very cautiously on defense. And he's 90 feet away from the Cavs' basket. 90 feet away. What are they going to do over there? They're not a risk all the way down the court like that. There's no reason to reach, and yet Curry reached. It shows you how mentally shaken he was in this game. He has 5 fouls, and yet he's reaching 90 feet away from the basket for no reason. Just go back down the court, play some defense, avoid fouling, don't reach, keep your hands back, and move your feet. All of his fouls were silly. Yeah, some of them were unfortunate, like on the offensive rebound when Kevin Love got the rebound and he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He bumped into him. You see that foul happen to so many players. It happens all the time. Somebody gets an offensive rebound, you're there, they jump up, you're there, you're holding them, you're hitting them, you're touching them, and it's a foul. Then he had another foul where he's trying to defend Kyrie going around the screen, and he's trying to stay on his body. He's reaching and kind of holding him around that pick and roll. That's another foul. Then he flopped on LeBron James. He was defending the pick and roll, and he tried to momentarily step over there. He tried to go for the charge, but it was a blocking foul. There was no reason for him to do that. He doesn't need to play that type of pick and roll defense, but he tried it. It didn't work. His fouls were just silly fouls all night long. And mentally, it just ruined his focus. The Cavs were picking on him all night long. So even though he scored 30 points, because I said last night, I said he had a terrible game, and he did. Even though he scored 30 points, he probably accounted for 60 points that the Cavs scored. There were a lot of possessions where, since he was in foul trouble, he had to let them get free layups, free baskets, because he doesn't want to pick up another foul. The Cavs were running whoever offense on Curry. And if you don't know what whoever offense is, it stands for whoever that player is defending is whoever's gonna score. Whoever Steph Curry was defending was always involved in the play, whether it's a pick and roll, whether it's an isolation to attack Curry, whether it's a post up to attack Curry. They involved him in all the plays, and he got destroyed. He was a defensive liability out there. It was a murder. Sometimes he was on LeBron James in the post, and he backed him all the way down to the front of the basket. It was an absolute murder, and mentally he was just not there for Game 6. The Warriors were in a huge shooting slump. Everything was on the perimeter. They were settling for jump shots. They couldn't get into the lane. Guys were passing the ball when they got into the lane, like Vera Zhao, Andre Iguodala, Harrison Barnes, everybody, Draymond Green. They're attacking, passing, turning over the ball. It's not rigged. Game 7 is not rigged. Game 7 is going to be lit, and the best team will win. The Golden State Warriors are in trouble. LeBron James is talking trash now. When have you ever seen LeBron James talk trash? And this is not the first time that LeBron has blocked Curry. He's been blocking Curry in these last few games. He looked at Curry with that